Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Real Estate Essentials 101, how to research, find and buy property the smart way. Today the topic is going to be delivered by Tim McKibbin from the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales, and he's also joined on stage by Payne, who's the Deputy President of the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales.
Okay, now we're going to enter into your area, I guess, a little bit. What I say to you though is a bit of advice about before you start looking for a property, you need to have a look at yourself. All right, you need to understand a little bit about who you are, because as I said to you earlier, it is not an exact science. The reason it's not an exact science because not every property is the same, and certainly there is nobody sitting in this room that's identical to anybody else. I'll give you an example. I like the beach. I love it. I want to live on a beach. I want to wake up in the morning and go down and walk on the beach and enjoy all of that. But I don't live near a beach. I live very close to the city. And the reason I live close to the city is because I hate travelling more than I love beaches. Okay? That's a fact. I'd like to live at Terrigal. But that would involve me getting in a car and driving to Gosford and then getting in a train and going all the way into the city each day. I hate it. Alright? That would wear me down. So I don't live there. I live close to the city. Okay, so you need to sit down before you start looking at properties with yourself and your partner, and you need to understand what the property is that is going to satisfy your requirements. And we'll go through some of these in a minute. You need to understand about schools, travel, to work, all of those sort of issues, and you have a mental picture about what it looks like. All right. Now that is time. I suppose your great temptation is to rush out in the market and start having a look at properties. Your first inquiry is about you. Understand what you want, because that will narrow down the field of what you're going to look for. Christian.
Look, the practical ways that you guys are going to get out and have a look at these properties and do your homework, it's really going to start with your list of what's most important to you. Just bear in mind that something might need to give in there. If it's price, you might need to increase your parameters. You might not be able to live as close as you want to. You might want to take into account that something might be a little bit cheaper because it's in a slightly less desirable location. So just be prepared to compromise on your list. But your homework's really going to start on the internet. So when you're going and looking at the major portals, you've got realestate.com, you've got domain.com, you've also got realestateview.com. They're the three largest portals. Now go through and understand what your competition is out there and what the sorts of things that will line up with your list. Now that's only one side of the equation, having a look at what's out there. The most important thing that you guys need to satisfy yourself with are the recent sales, and because they're the things that actually are setting the value. Now be aware though, when you're looking at recent sales, if you go online or if you ring up 2GB on the radio and get one of these, it's called an automated valuation method. Bear in mind that these things are working with the figures, like the medians and the average. They haven't walked through a property, they haven't taken into account, you know, the styles, these little things that add value, quirky little things in the property, and they can't. So that falls onto you guys. You need to make your own judgments around those. So just be aware that that's what these automated valuation methods are for, and these little suburb reports that you're getting and you're buying. Also, just be aware, for your investors out there, seasoned investors will know about a two-tier market. The reason property spruikers has been dropped on the bottom of there is McKibbin is a professional group of property investment advisors, and it's a voluntary organisation, but they're reputable property investment advisors. What happened in Queensland was there was this two-tier market going on. So they'd fly people up to Queensland and say, look, this is the guaranteed rent return, guaranteed, you're paying for that, by the way, in the price. And what happened is you had all these other comparable sales up at this level, yet some locals up there would be able to go, but I know I can get this house over here for this. So just bear in mind, if you're doing this, you know, flying into areas or areas that you're not quite sure about, just watch out for this two-tier market. Right, so that's why beware of property spruikers up there.
Let's have a really quick look at some of these things here. Attend open for inspections. Obviously this is all free, and this is back to my earlier point, do your homework. You're attending open inspection. Everyone you attend the smarter you get. You learn more, and you are recording your information. So it's a long and arduous process, and that's just life. I remember when my wife and I ultimately bought our place at auction, I turned to her and said, I just got my Saturdays back. Because that was the reality of it. I did, because every Saturday and during the week and whatever it was, we were out doing this, and we had to do it. We had to go through that process.
Lucky bugger.
Yeah. Well, I love options, but I didn't like the idea of having to go as opposed to wanting to go. But attend auctions, talk to agents, tell them what you want, describe the property that you want, and you can also put filters. I think those that are clever in the IT world into those major listing portals, and they will do some of the work for you. So once you understand what you're looking for, you set prices, set a variety of other aspects of the property, and you can get this information coming through to you on the internet. Okay. Comparable property sales, again, this is all about homework. I'm harping on it and I'm not apologising for it. You just need to do it. Online valuations, Christian has already gone to that, but I'll mention it again. They're a tool, and underline that, they are just a tool. They are an algorithm that lives in some computer system somewhere. They are not a valuation. So yeah, look, by all means have a look at it. By all means take it on board, but it is not a valuation, and it is, by my experience, they are grossly inaccurate on regular occasions. So if you are being guided by them in isolation, you are being misled, potentially. Homework. If you're doing your homework, you always have to have a notebook and a pen. You're gathering data all the way through it, because when you sit down after you've been in the market for a couple of months, you won't store it all up here. You will need to collect all of the data as you've gone through it. It's a process. This is a project. You need to project manage it. You need to gather the data as you're going through. The more homework you do, the better result you will get. That's life. Okay? So there's a few things here about understanding the tools necessary to gather the data. Folks, we have unfortunately run out of time. We do have a few more slides, which will be available on our website and also on Facebook and all of those other clever places where people put things these days. I do thank you for your time, and we will be over at stand 109 if anybody has any additional questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.